Alright, trying again. Trying again here. I turned the video quality down to 720 now. But legit, like YouTube goes completely down. Like I can't, my music stops, everything. It's like my whole internet just stops. I wonder if like the squirrels have chewed a hole in my fucking cable or something, you know? I'll like just fiddle with the cable over here a little bit. Maybe it got pinched in the doorway. Make sure the connection is stable in the back of the computer. It was a little loose in the back of the computer. That'd be funny if the Ethernet was just coming out. But anyway, let me know if you guys are still here with me. I'm gonna attack this shark here. So if I can re-explain that again, basically the fish are all actually on the ground. You see the little frowny faces here? They're all like actually. Gonna highlight the nav mesh. Since they're all on the ground, and the skeletal meshes are getting an offset going up with a maximum of the difference between their world location and 0, which is where the ocean is. And that's clamped, basically. So that's why they're able to quote-unquote swim around in this opening here. Hey again, Maz. I hope this stays stable. Volume's all good now, I think. I can hear myself in my headset, and I'm not wearing it on my shoulder anymore, so I won't accidentally hit the button. That was actually legit what was happening to me when I was playing Atlas for a couple weeks, is every now and then people would be like, I can't hear you anymore, your microphone's off. I'm like, fuck, what's happening? I just got this new headset. I know the old one was because the cable was all broken and rolled over. So anyway, the new microphone button was hitting my shoulder when I wasn't wearing it over my ears. You gotta wear the microphone over your ears, or it won't work good. So anyway, gotta get targets in range, start attacking that sucker. I think I need to make it stop deselecting when you're out of range, because it's very frustrating. Like, is there really any reason to deselect something if they can't do anything to it? Maybe you can just keep it selected at a distance. Or maybe I can, like, double the range or something. Oh, see, now I killed it. Now I looked this up. Sharks sink when they die. So he's going down, down, down. He's on the bottom now. That's me. Why is it seeing... Oh yeah, okay, it looked like I was on the ground. I'm not. The circle rotates with me, you see that? I might have to fix that for swimming. It's kind of funny. Anyway, here's my dead shark. And a bunch more swimming around. So I only have put in the grouper, mackerel, and the shark so far, but I also have octopus and a couple of other fishies. I could probably make a variation of the octopus that's the jellyfish just by changing the skin, but that seems like a cheap jellyfish. Oh, and I haven't programmed any attacking back yet, so that's why I'm just making it sink faster and rise faster. The fishes rise pretty slowly too. Like, I'll kill a mackerel. Yeah, the outer range selection thing is a real pain in the ass. I think I'm gonna have to change that. Garg. This is why people should playtest their own games. I feel like a lot of things would be better if people just sat there playing their own thing for hours on end while trying to get it to work. Well, they probably do already, what am I kidding? So anyway, the fish died, got all curvy, and it's rising to the top. The cream rises to the top, like the dead fish in the ocean. So another thing I was thinking is maybe I can reactivate the buoyancy component, and then it'll float on the water. It looks like it is floating on the water though, doesn't it? Or is it's just still going up? See, it hits their 0 point and just stays there. So that actually happens on the AI controller. Let's go there. Or I could just do it here. Am I destroying that component? I should deactivate it instead. We'll keep it on here so we can use it. Where did I go? Oh yeah, here. That way I can activate it. I don't want this to be on the sharks. Because they sink, so I don't want any buoyancy stuff happening. There we go. So yeah, about maybe the dying faster, rising faster. Interp speed, 0.5 instead of 0.1. 1 was way too fast. And also starting, this is the normal spawning area. Let's get the ocean spawning area. I just want to real quick show you behavior tree. So I have the different modes, if you're idle, if you're roaming, and then I made a new one if you're staying in the ocean. This is for the fishies, and that just uses a special get random navigable in ocean, which is the same as my get random navigable, but I'm doing a check here to say, like, is the Z within this axis? Because anything lower than this is in the ocean. Anything higher than this is above the planet surface thing. So that's how they spawn in the water only, basically. So if you look at the areas, I'm spawning them all the way over here. Yeah, there they are. This is my ocean spawning area. So you see the spawning area covers some of the land here, but they'll never spawn on the land like this green spot. When it starts, it says get random point in navigable radius, and that starting spot is the center here. So I'm basically spawning these things at this spawner's actor transform. So they spawn here, right at that little widget thingy, and then it says, okay, get a random point in navigable area, and I'm asking it, first of all, is that possible? Because if there's, that's why these have the nav invoker, because if there's no green thing here already, they'll just start here and be frozen in space, basically. Sorry, your internet connection is shit out for some reason, I don't know what. It's the fucking Russians, man, they're onto us. They're trying to stop our conspiracy of knowledge. Gotta watch out for that shit. But, just like all stereotypes, man, I love Russian people. Yo. Russian Droog's where it's at. Did you see that meme I posted? I'm gonna share this with you guys real quick, hold on. The sources of learning thing. So, lecture reading, audio visual, you know, the participatory teaching methods, passive teaching methods, knowledge retention rates. Go down to the bottom here. Screen recording of a guy typing instructions into Notepad while loud techno music plays in the background with the video quality of the default export settings on MS Movie Maker 2003. That's how you learn Unreal Engine. Now you're cooking with gas. Yeah, but it's mysterious, huh? So anyway, I'm getting that navigable area, teleporting the character to it. Where's the eye in the middle? What? Oh, the pyramid. I get it. I get it. Did you ever look at the pyramid of knowledge on weed? So anyway, I was joking. Jon Stewart, everybody. So I wanted to make them. Let's go back to what I'm actually doing here. So stop showing stuff off. I want the fishies to start. first thing they do is they start playing it. Maybe it's not fast enough. Or maybe... I don't know if I want them on the ocean floor. Maybe I should make this a little bit higher. I watched Doctor Strange. It was trippy as heck. Doctor Strange, the movie is actually really good. That was had a lot of good feel. It's almost like my movie Holograms. It has a lot. I actually put Doctor Strange in with my other researched movies of comparable earnings. You know, like see how much money my movie might make if it's successful. Because Doctor Strange was a very successful movie dealing with a lot of very esoteric topics that, you know, I mean, mainstream media has taken them a while to realize that most people are smart. I think the mainstream media people are the ones that were fooled the most by the fake impression of how many stupid people there are in this country. There really aren't that many. And they've been suckered into feeding them only for so long that they forgot that there is intelligent people looking for entertainment. It could be a little bit faster, so let's bring this in a bit. Space that's going to say it's going to get there faster. And let's check the dying buoyancy component. The buoyancy component. I'm Russianizing it. The buoyancy component. So when it was buggy, the fish would be spawning over here and just be frozen there. But as you see now, they spawn anywhere. Yeah, that's too fast a rate. It's getting all bouncy. I wonder if that's because of the... Yeah, that's gotta be... It's too fast. And maybe they're starting too high. Let's undo those things I just did. This one... I'm gonna start at 0 still. And this one... Let's see if the other stuff worked first, and then let's work on... They do stay in the water well enough. I may just be picky from knowing that they start on the ground. If you don't know that, can you tell it, you know? Also, my floating thing needs a little bit of work. I feel like maybe they're getting affected by the buoyancy component now. I do have to destroy it. I can't just deactivate it. I think that's what's happening. I think it's the buoyancy component. So I'm gonna put this back down, because that might work. Put this back up, that might work. And instead of deactivating, reactivating, I might have to just create. I mean, I don't have to in the first place. I think I could just create component. No, how do you do that? Spawn components. Buoyancy. Buoyancy. Oh. It's a blueprint class. Let's see. Oh, I love the sharks. The ocean looked bland before, now it looks good. You're exactly right. They're not stupid. They have just almost kind of been brainwashed into thinking that. But in reality, they aren't stupid. They were just convinced really well. It's true, man. People are gullible. Not stupid. People are eager to fit in. Let's put it that way. People are so eager to fit in. The real world, road rules bullshit is all to blame. Like the picture of right above the water with the green trees and your guy in the water. Yeah, that was a mistake. Oh wait, the guy in the water. Oh, that wasn't the mistake. Okay. Still trying to figure out how to spawn this component. Add component. Can I do that? I know there's a. I know this is like a very basic. Can I do? There we go. Cool. Add player buoyancy component. It's like built into a node somehow. So weird. Okay. Return value. We're gonna set. Bam. Test point. We don't need to do any of that. Oh god, do we? Point radius 10, buoyancy 1. Do ocean manager. Let's just see if it works. If it's, oh wait, if it is the shark, we're going to bypass that. That's all. Okay. Like trees or grass looked a lot like WoW for a second. How many cameras above the water and the lands were just... I know what you're talking about. Why did the music just get absurdly loud all of a sudden? What the fuck? Is that just my headphones all of a sudden? I don't even see any signal in... Oh, if I turn my headphone volume off, does it... No, you can't tell. Anyway. It sounds like really loud. There's probably like no signal in them. There we go. Okay, anyway. Let me see if I can get that effect that you're talking about. Because basically there's a post-process effect from being underwater and going above. Like that? Is that what you're talking about right there? Where you still have the blue there? Like that? It basically is just a post-process setting. I was thinking of adding a post-process volume to each zone so that you go into the desert, it gets all, you know, dry and orange looking and stuff. Is that basically what you're talking about? That, like, dark blue look? Yeah. Yeah, I probably will be doing that soon. Let's show off the other animals. Also check out the frame rate here. Obviously I'm streaming, I got 2 monitors running, I got YouTube playing in the background. It spawns animals, and so it spawns animals, it drops into the 30s for a moment, just because the nav mesh has to get drawn. As you can see, there's some nav mesh out there, because there's some aminals out and about. There's one. So, that's the thing, I can click on things when I'm out of combat. If I go to combat, though... Oh, sorry. If I go into combat mode, it's going to check the distance and say it's out of range. Which I guess kind of makes sense, because it's checking if you have the thing targetable. What if I do this, though? What if I select them, and then go, bam? No? Might be possible. I was able to cheat a little weird thing, like jumping into a chair, so I fixed that, so you can't jump into the chairs, so it was causing a character to go flying. So I've added some skylight, some ambient skylight here. You see how it's kind of dark bluish everywhere? So there's a little bit of that. Let me know how that looks to you, WR. So, as you can see, shadows are no longer pitch black. And to make it work, the problem I had before was that the moon was getting dyed blue as well, because it does everything. The skylight hits everything except for the ambient occlusion. Which you see some ambient occlusion going on here with the trees. You see how it's darker around them? You can see some of that ambient occlusion stopping some of that blue from hitting things. I wonder if it's also on me. Do you see any ambient occlusion underneath me? Not really. Might not be contributing to it. Yeah, the problem was the way the moon ended up looking. So my mom had a great idea, actually. She was just like, make the sky bluer. So you might not be able to tell, but this actually has a little bit of blue in that background there, so that when the moon comes up, and you can see it more from this side. You see that as a little bit blue, like compared to this pitch black right here? Yep, more realistic and easier to see. It's a great combination. The only reason I wasn't using this before was that it wasn't realistic, because you would see like black. Sorry, you would see like glowing edge of the sky, but I mean it's almost a full moon, so it's impossible to tell. But the edge up here, you can see it's a little bit of a dark blue. It might be really impossible to see on the stream. Actually, it blends so that it does look like there's a shape to the moon where the shadow is, rather than be a full circle. So what happened before is that it would stand out if the skylight was hitting the moon. Your dark side of the moon would be kind of glowing compared to the background of the sky. So what I had to do was make the back of the sky glow a little bit to match the moon, to match the skylight. And the reason why all of that is blue in the first place is so that the moon can match the daylight sky when it's up. So if we stay here and watch this for a minute, I've also messed a little bit with the sunset, sunrise. Let me hop on my bad looking horse mount here, get a little bit elevation. Really doesn't look that bad. I just got to work on the way the character looks when because he's not animated at all. He's just static. Once I change that, it'll look better, and make it so the horse doesn't breathe when it's walking with its mouth. Did you see that? So bad. Anyway, I have to go on this side of the mountain to see it. But yeah, you can see at night. The shadows during the daytime are a little bit more realistic. They're still pretty dark during the daytime, though. I need to like mess with it a little bit more. So if we chill here for a minute, pack myself up. Oh, my bowl's already packed. I'll hit the bowl. I'll be right back. Just watch this moon as it comes up. The problem is that it's so full. This is really hard to demonstrate. It is almost impossible to demonstrate. There's just like a thin line of shadow on it. You can barely see. So I don't even know why I'm bothering. But it looks cool. I could just restart the world. I mean, the point is that how much performance I've gained by doing this. Like as I said, I'm streaming 2 monitors. I'm using Play and Editor, so that's 3 milliseconds on top of everything that Play and Editor adds, which is a little factoid I learned. But I'm at 70. I'm in 2K resolution on my 2080 Ti. I've got 2 directional lights. That's the biggest cost, probably, is the fact that I'm using one. I'm keeping my daylight on to illuminate the moon only. So there's some more optimizations I was thinking about doing with that, with making another directional light, turning off the daylight, and having this other directional light only affect the moon at all. But that's a little complicated, and it's working pretty well right now, so that's an optimization I might take in the future. But you can see that moon is actually casting this light out here. It's actually this white light. That's moonlight. So the moon is getting illuminated by the directional light of the sun, and the moon directional light is illuminating this at night, which actually hits a lot more ground when it's not being blocked by a mountain. Like if I was on the other side of the mountain there, even if I just go all the way, you can see that side of the mountain is all illuminated from the moonlight still. Here comes the sun, as the Beatles say. And so here you see my sunrise coloring. Very, very brief, because this day length in minutes is what it's called. The speed of the day-night cycle is very fast right now, so it was a very brief sunrise. This is the ogre spawn area. They start all the way out here. And did you see that color pop? I've been trying to work on that. But it's like... Also, you see the skylight? It's still not bright enough. The shadows are still very dark during the day. It's a bluish shadow now. But you can see the details in here. It's not pitch black. But it's still like too dark, I think. You can't even see the character's face. Right? Like that looks weird as hell. So I think I need to increase the skylight. Maybe during the day. Anyway, let's go back to the aminals. Why can't I click that guy? Oh, all the ones that I didn't put the mesh on, you can't even click them now. Also, I have to change their descriptions. They're basically still humans. Alright, so I have to have that on these guys. Not a big deal. Let me add this thing real quick. Actually, I'm gonna take a breather. I've only been streaming for 45 minutes. Dude, that shit flies. That time flies. Just gonna hang here for now. Be right back a second. Getting a beverage and whatnot. I just noticed that all the people that have donated to me so far, their names start with C. Who's gonna break the C curse? That's not even a curse. So here's the thing. Since I want fish and birds to be able to go up these vertical surfaces, you can only have one recast nav mesh. This is why I would like to have more than one. Animals seem to always want to go up into these places. And since the animal's individual step height is... Actually, you know what? Let me see if I can work around this. I've tried working around it before. It didn't seem to do the trick in reverse, though. So basically, changing it on the individual animal to go up rather than, or down rather than up. What's it called? Step height. Max step height. Oh, and that's not even, no, that's not what I want. I want nav invoker. No? Not the nav invoker? It's here. It's under the motion. It's under the nav movement, though. Nav agent step height. Yeah. Try that. Copy it. And we'll go over to fish and bird. And we will change that. 1000. Let's see if that actually works. Because what I did know is that you can't do it the other way, which was to have a low step height on the mesh and a high one on the character. Maybe the nav mesh has to have it high already, and then this will limit it rather than expanding it. If that makes any sense. So my bird BP. It's basically the same. It has fish stuff, but instead of going, it doesn't get clamped. Basically, it can just go all the way up to whatever height I gave it, which is 10,000, which is way up in the air. We'll never hit it. It'll just be up there, which is kind of funny. I don't know. You'll donate one day to break it if it hasn't been broken by then. Alright, it's a challenge. Someone's gonna donate. I feel horrible even just saying that. Just forget about it. Nobody ever donate, ever. Buy my game instead. I don't want your streamer dollars. F that noise. Bird. Can I do it already? Yeah. So I guess we got to test. Save everything. It's probably going to save the map. Nope, okay. Alright, let's check it out. So basically, the nav mesh, as you can see here, will still go up hills, like so. Like thusly, over here. Still go straight up vertically. The question is, will the animals that can't go up the hills keep trying? So, let's get that guy individually, and let's see what happens. You know what? I think that was the brilliant fix. I think you just witnessed genius at work here. Because you literally saw me think of it. And I had no idea from anybody beforehand. Oh, no, never mind. Here's a snake. The snake's broke. Snake's like, I am in nowhere land. Oh, here it goes. No, look, he's still... Oh, maybe that's just the way the nav mesh generally works. If we do this... Oh. You see, the step between these 2 points isn't that bad, but it doesn't account for... Like, I can't find out how to make the nav mesh any more precise than this. This seems to be the upward limit of precision. Rip. Yeah, it looks like this goat's trying to go up there, too. But it does seem better than before, where they would all be lining up along here, where they couldn't... Like, this is too steep of an angle here. Just getting here. That's too steep of a height for them. He's still trying over there. I'm going to leave it here for a little while. Leave this on here for a little bit. See if they start bunching up. Here comes a pig. Nope. Well, how about the bird? Let's see if the bird makes his way up here. See, he's flying up. He's going up. I thought it got fixed. Got all excited for a second. It still might be fixed. I might just be seeing flukes of the way the system just still works in general. Maybe I need to lower their step height even more. Or their not their step height, but their nav invoker height thing. That bird is... Oh, here goes the bird. He's moving around now. Go, birdie, go. He got stuck again. Why are you getting stuck, bird? Is there another bird? There's one way out there. See how cool that looks? Turn this off. Wait till he pops out. He's not going to pop out. He's stuck behind the tree, isn't he? Oh, crow. There he is. Isn't that cool? That's an eagle. Wait. But it says crow. It says crow. This one says eagle. Oh, maybe it is a crow. I just forgot to change its name. Come here, crow. Yeah. So I think this needs to be lowercase for the descriptions eventually. I gotta go through all of them, but I might as well test now. The descriptions is going to be a piecemeal process. Basically everything with the animals has been a piecemeal process. I started with spawning them, and I realized, like, oh wow, I can select them already. And then I was like, oh, but I can't attack them. So then I made it so you can attack them. And I was like, oh, but I can't click them with the mouse. So I made it so you can click them with the mouse. And, you know, one thing after the other. crow. And it says crow, and it says, oh, let's see now. It says a crow there, and also says a crow here. Oh, that's no good. Can't change it live. I mean, it can be easily fixed by just putting out to lower there for birds, for animals. I'll do its own special thing for animals. So many repeated variables, stuff like name, AI mode. Random stuff, okay. Let's add the rest of the fish. What else I got? The octopus. And I'll show you what the process is for making animation blueprints for all these guys. Let me just copy this. I'll explain what I'm doing. So on begin play, we're going to cast to the, get the pawn owner, cast to it, and just get what animal type it is. I'm not even using this, so that's just for later if I want to have something. It turns out since these are all based on different skeletons, so they need their own animation blueprint each. I was going to use this so that I could just have one node that switches on it, but to be perfectly honest, I don't think I'll ever need this, but I'm keeping it there anyway. So on update animation, cast the blueprint. I'm going to get whether or not it's dead. Let me just make these variables here. Already did that one? Okay, cool. If it's dead, it's dead. If it is dead, then we're going to set its speed to 0, stop movement immediately, and override AI to idle, which are things that I do with my for movement. That's how I got it, so that when you talk to an NPC, it stops wandering around and will. So, for example, in my AI behavior tree is idle. Get AI mode. Here, I just basically override before doing your schedule thing. That's what this is. That's getting your schedule, daily schedule, hourly thingy. I'm just going to say, oh, well, are you override AI to idle? Yes. Well, then your AI mode is going to be idle, and we're not going to check your schedule to see what mode you should be on, and it's just going to go to straight to idle, which will stick you here and play random idle. Otherwise, then we'll go to your get AI mode and get it and figure out what to do. So this way, if you're already in one of these trees, well, actually, well, basically you're going to be get random point navigable radius, and it's going to be going there, or no, actually it's here, AI move to, right? So it's going to just move to. Again, I'm having here, is it override AI to idle? True. Well, then what's going to finish with a success? The stop movement node will basically cause this to quit. We'll finish execute, and we'll jump out of this. We'll force this to go back up here and check. That way, when you wave at an NPC, they stop talking. I make it so they turn to face you, and they stay standing there facing you. And this also works with basically saying, if you're dead, stop walking around. Because what was happening at first was I'd kill the thing, it would die, and it would still be doing move to. So when it dies, you want to stop movement immediately. If you're not dead, so this is a normal movement, get the AI controller. If you don't have an AI controller, then we don't want to do anything. Basically, I don't know. I figured, I don't know why I put that there, but it'll help, trust me. Always a good opportunity to shut off anything if you don't have a thing. So anyway, we're going to get your move status, which is based off of this move to. This is something I looked up. Don't ask me, I don't know much else about it. And you basically have these different modes, which is going to say you're either idle, waiting, paused, or moving. So if you're any of these, I'm saying, well, your speed variable is 0, and if you're moving, your speed variable is going to be 150. And I will expand this logic to say if you're moving and in combat, or moving and running, you know, change the speed variable to this, change your this, and, you know, it's going to be all based off of that stuff. Rather than measuring the actual speed of the character. Because something I've noticed in games is if something is moving very slowly, the animation plays very slowly. So just imagine like a two-legged person, right? A humanoid character gets hit with a frostbolt, starts still running at you. They're running in slow motion because their speed variable is usually set to their velocity. And so that velocity is always going to drive the speed of their animation. So in this case, they're not going to sit there frozen in space if they're not moving. They're not going to crawl. They're not going to slowly wiggle. They'll just always wiggle. That's why when you see them standing still, like the bird that was just rising and he was still flapping, rather than just being like a motionless static bird, the bird is still flapping as it's idling because its speed when moving was set. Actually, the bird itself is a different case because I set it to be playing an animation even when speed is 0. Forget that case. But the fish, for example, when they're stuck there. Actually, that's all because I set their speed 0 to be playing. The animals will actually play a normal idle animation when they're standing still. It's more so about like if their speed gets slowed from something, like a slow chill spell or something like that. It's for future. I did it for other reasons, but that's why I'm keeping it. Yeah, so that's all I have in the event graph. It's really simple. I just copy and paste each time. For the anim graph, let's come out here. We'll copy, paste, and tell you what's going on there. So here's the final animation page. First thing we're going to do is make a new state machine. Right? Now, what do you call this thing? Yeah, state machine. Add new state machine. sorry. Scratchy throat. Make a new state machine. You're going to drag off of it new save cached pose. So it does this. And then you're going to do cached pose, use cached pose, whatever you named it. So you make the cached pose, you name it, then you type cached pose here, and you can use cached pose. That's what this is. Do that again, the same exact thing. So you've got two inputs of the same signal, and that signal is basically your state machine. So basically we have our state machine going into each of these montage slots, which are combat hit and animal montage, which I'm going to be using this for the attack later on. So to do that, slot, default slot, click on it and change it here. And in order to have these, you have to create them down here in the anim slot manager. Since I copied and pasted these in, when I compile, they're going to just appear. Oh, it's not compiled correctly, so it's not going to appear yet. Once I have everything working in here, they'll just appear. But in the meantime, you can just add slot, add group, name them, and they'll show up here when you go to use them. And, you know, you want to organize those how you organize them. In this case, for example, in the macro, I just have them under default group, both slots, combat hit and montage. Nothing special. So let's go into the basic motion. So from entry, you're going to want to do add state, and then name it idle. Drag out from here and just play. And then here you can just type play idle, and it'll only show what's compatible. If everything compiles correctly, it'll show what's correct. Since these are all from another animation blueprint, it's giving me errors. So let me just put these in. I'll put walk under idle because the octopus, some of these fish things, they don't come with a lot of animations. They don't have any idles, so that's why I'm just saying, okay, when you're actually moving, you'll be running. And does it have a death? It does. But the death is a loop. It's a pretty slow loop. What's up with that? That's a little better. Right, so we'll go to end. So we're at the end frame, then we'll do create asset, create animation, current pose, and name it Gareth. Now we're in that new animation. We can change that however we want. If we want it to flail out, splay out. Look at all these bones you can play with on the octopus. My god. I could have a lot of fun with that. Is that an ear? Is that an octopus ear? Okay, it's not sticking out. I thought it was like sticking out. But basically that's all you need. You just need a still animation so that, since this actually has an animation of dying, the other one did not. It didn't even have a death animation at all. I just made the death end state and put it in here for the macro. So for this, we're gonna delete this transition out and do this one. Just needs to be relevant anim time. The word relevant is the weirdest spelling anyway. But let's see, animate time remaining, and just say if it's less than 0.2, then the transition will be 0.2 in duration. See here. And we'll just drag out from here so that if you resurrect the dude, you can go back to living if you got a pet octopus. Otherwise, he'll stay stuck in a death state whether you check that box off or not. So let's just check that out real quick. Dead. And, whoop, I didn't give it anything. Oh. Click. And it's dead. Oh, that's not right. Oh, because it's at point. I multiplied the speed of this, so this has to be longer. And the transition period has to be longer as well. Because I doubled the speed of the animation going into it, so that measurement is actually getting doubled. It's really weird. So now if you watch... Nope. That was weird. Keeping this at 0.2. And keep the duration at 0.4. Because this is measuring the previous anim time. Whoa. Pardon me. This is not normal. I wonder if I just took the wrong frame. No, looks like it's the same. Now, one thing I'm not sure about, which hasn't happened before, is whether using just a static pose is better, but from what I could tell is you can't just play a pose. Like pose drivers and stuff. I'm not sure. Let's just go into here. Oh, that's right. No, it is the previous animation. Let's make the duration 0.2 and the measurement 0.4. There you go. That was it. I had it backwards. It's the animation you're coming out of that's sped up. So you want your relevant anim time remaining to be twice as much as the duration itself. The duration, this is the real time it's going to take, and this is measuring double time. So that's why I had that glitch. Okay. Sure, the octopus is done. We got to make sure the octopus glows.
Me and Vincent would have been satisfied with some freeze-dried Taster's Choice, right? Niece brings this serious gourmet shit over. What flavor is this?
Put the animation blueprint. I always forget stuff here. It's like unavoidable. But we shall see. Yeah, passive. Yeah. ocean. And I think I just need name. So many variables. I'm probably gonna have to go through one day and delete a whole lot of unused stuff or consolidate things. Like this has already got set race. I don't know. Do not know what is up with this variable automatically getting set. I guess it's somehow bound, but it's not actively bound to the current static mesh. But somehow every time I make a new thing, I change the mesh, and I come down here, but there's nothing in the construction script to tell it to do that. Oh, maybe it is on the parent. That's gotta be. It has to be on there in the construction script. Anyway, it should be. Oh, let's make it glow underwater. This is easy. The easiest part. I gotta go to the mesh. There we go. Let's just go to the material itself directly. And I'll just take that, look it into a missive. It'll glow ever so slightly, just enough to see it in the dark. You don't want a real glow unless it's like an actual like dangler fish or something. Anyway, let's throw it in there. Give that a quick save. Now there's all sorts, since they're based off the player character, I can give them all of the attributes, the health, the strength, the dexterity, all that stuff. That's the whole point. It's just like, I also had to do some optimization for the spawning rates and the mesh generation. It's clipping like all shit back here. I never saw it before. And this jumping jitteriness, also a frame rate issue. I don't know. I think it's because I'm playing an editor. It's much smoother whenever you play the actual game. There's all sorts of stuff going on that causes little hitches. Anyway, we'll go in here. There's no underwater sounds is the one thing you'll notice. It really still sounds like you're above water. And the wolf is the only thing I've put a proper howl sound effect on. Nothing else has any sound effects for anything, like the snake or anything like that. Oh, the swimmingness seems to be better. Where's my octopus? There he is! Oh my god. Is that how they... Don't they go the other direction? I think he's backwards. Yeah, he's backwards. Can I just turn that shit around? Will that work? I feel weird turning it while it's in motion, like I'm touching a live creature. Gotta put this guy on. Okay, this is just saying it can't go through walls, and you can click on it. I might have made some of those negative. It's probably not good. Probably not good. Let's just make them not negative. The ants. Also negative. One of those axes was not negative and the others were. That's weird. I put it on the crow, right? Yeah. Fire salamander. Burb 1 second. I am back. Oops. He's looking at me like, what'd you do that for? You put my circle off center. That ain't cool. Don't put my circle off center. Don't off center my circle. He's off centered my circle. Don't forget to center yourself. You gotta do sound effects when you move the camera up and down. It makes the frog feel like you care. Like, you know, this isn't just some variable. He's a real frog, okay? His feelings. Look at him. He's like, oh, don't adjust things too quickly now. Takes me a little while to adjust. The way the dude that created these made the walking animations though, very hodgepodge. Just gonna say that. It's like the foot slides even though the character is moving at the right speed. I think the goose has one. Yep, goose is good. Mackerel must have one. Yep. Octopus. Okay, did I rotate him? I did, right? Yeah. This new headphones are really good, and the music sounds like those little clicks are like actually like behind me, or like off to my left slightly. It's quite disorienting, I tell you. It really sounds like someone like knocking on my window. Like, rat-tat-tat. The music's probably much quieter on the stream. Basically, we don't want it to touch the ground because we don't want to bump into the ground too much. Okay, he's good. Scorpion didn't have one. Yeah. Why would you do that? Scorpion's huge. I don't know, what were you thinking? And also, this prevents them from walking into doors. Like in Atlas, when the head of an alpha wolf will stick into your base and you gotta shoot it with 500 bullets because for some reason it wants to eat your boat. That game, I swear to God, I don't get sometimes. I had so much fun, though. I gotta tell you, I had so much fun playing a fucking MMO again. It was so nice. It was like a real vacation, but alas, and it wasn't the developers, it wasn't the bugs, it wasn't the community either. It was the nature of the game, as so many would say. The fucking diplomacy bullshit with the going into Discord and basically just like politely saying, give us your land. Such bullshit. It's like, talk to me in character, bitch. Sorry. I take back that word usage. It's a very sexist word, but it's like, come on. Oh, I got so frustrated by the bullshit. I went off to start my own company in the middle of the tundra and was doing really well for like a second week, and then this group just decided out of nowhere they'd show up at my front door and just blow the shit up because I wouldn't join their company. It's so obnoxious. So it gave me a lot of incentive for bringing things back to the way things were, less competitive, while you still have your own company, your own guilds and all that stuff. You weren't competing over the land itself. So on the same token, it's like, how do you... Well, there's a great Shadiversity video about this, which is like why castles were important, was that it would give you a safe place to go, so that, let's say your castle's on this hill, so that you can, you know, patrol the outlying territory on horseback, and always have a safe place to go back to heal up, find respite. So that castle being here is impenetrable. So A, you shouldn't be able to break into people's castles, like, at all, unless it's like, you know, huge investment of time and resources that becomes really epic and fun, to the point where you're like, if you're the guy whose castle's getting invaded, you're just like, holy shit, we made them use up like 5,000 gold to build a catapult, oh my god, that's awesome, you know, and you're like, whatever, that should be the goal. But then there's the idea of like when Ark and stuff like that, other games where you build a foundation and no one can build in that area. I'm not sure about that. Like, if I built a castle here and somebody walked up and wanted to build a wooden staircase up the side of it, the only thing preventing them should be me or in my game, the offline NPCs that I leave around to defend the castle. It's really going to be interesting to see how to balance that so that you can defend. I think defense has to be more powerful. Like, these games aren't respecting the power of the castle. The castle is like impenetrable. There's no tools in these games where you can pour hot oil down your murder holes and stuff like that. You know, they build the castle breakdown tools, they build the trebuchets and the battering rams, but the castles need to be stronger than the attackers. And that way, if someone tries to build in your area, you're pre-fortified, you can go out and stop them. You can have some AI NPCs that patrol your area for you, and if they get injured, they return home. That's the idea. We should see how it works out. That way someone could just show up and be like, okay, I'm just going to build over here, they'll never see me, even if I'm quote-unquote on their land. You know what I mean? There's no flag, there's no claim, there's no, like, this land is off limits. Because the game says so. That's the idea, at least. I don't think I put the snails in yet. Snails are going to be important, because that's where you get blue and purple dye from. Oysters and snails and stuff. Something like that. This is just all testing, basically. Okay, what's the next fishy to put in? Should we see? Let's see if the octopus is swimming in the right direction. There we go. That looks better. Good speed. Is he visible enough in the dark? Yep. He's actually illuminated right now, but you can see one down there in the dark. He's in the shadows, but he glows slightly because he has a emissive on. FPS down here. I love it. That's as good as it is in the desert. Well, because there's no foliage. I was thinking of replacing some of my foliage so that it's better performance. Cause some of it's from the kite demo. Bloop. Say what? Let's see here. Animals. It's a perch fish. So now I'll do it quickly, so I'm not explaining everything. I'm not trying to rush too hard, but I am kind of rushing a little bit just to show off how quick this is. So I'm going to end up messing up a little bit, I'm sure. I am just clicking through. Look at that. It only has swim and fast swim. Oop. Dead not. Go to the walking animation. Grab a frame that looks close to what we want-ish. Asset, no, create asset, animation, current pose. You can't hit enter out of this. It's the most pain in the ass. You have to use the mouse there. Anybody at Epic is watching, please. Allow me to hit enter there to speed this up. So we shall put it there. Let's modify it a bit. Stick the fin out a little bit. Why not? I'm trying to find the face. There we go. And then we want the whole thing. Yep. It's a little bit too bent here. Ah. Messed it up. Oh, and I pressed undo. I pressed the undo button. What was I thinking? Damn instincts. I knew this would take forever. Never hit the undo button. No, I'm not sure what's going on here. Is this the nose? Oh, it's the upper mouth. I think I'm just gonna have to rotate the whole thing up. There we go. Ah! Darn buttons so close together and whatnot. Here we go. Dead fishy. Good enough. Alright. Let's go to the mesh. Give it that emissive. Dead fishy. Alive fishy. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I want to listen to some Jevin James. Is that the right name? No, Jevin James. No. Oh, I totally said it wrong. Well, his band is Yoko Temple. Is it Jevin? It's not his band. It's him. Jevin. Or is it? We'll just go with yes. It is. He put so much stuff, but the only one I really like is this one. Oops, no, play from the start. Smooth music. This is smooth. I did like that last one. That was what reminded me of this one. So maybe you'll enjoy this as well. This is just the intro track. These are just my 2 testing areas. Bon Jovi. Bond Jovi? Bond is Bond. Just B-O-N. Bond. Jovi Bond. Sorry. Here we go. Yeah. It's very, like, laid back. Glazed over. Yes. So the biggest cost of this so far was the nav mesh drawing on the invokers. Because I don't want one big nav mesh for the whole world, because you can build in the world, so I want it to be dynamic. So in order to offset the cost of rendering the drawing the nav mesh for each actor, I basically just put a random delay on the start of each of them so that they're staggered a bit. Uh-oh. That perch is dead. That bird is dead. I plugged in the wrong thing somewhere. I know where. Let's go back here. I gotta stop laughing in the microphone. Let's see if I can point this correctly. Yeah, I thought I plugged it in already. I was like, alright. It reminds me of Little Dragon, which is a great band as well. Just tight beats, really emotive synths. Laid back, but with syncopation. And now the triplets. Triplets. Just let you know, WR. I'd like to hear you making some music like this. That would be cool. Sort of 80s, but with a modern sound, you know? Like The Cure and stuff like that. Pike. I don't know what behaviors to give some of these things at. I haven't programmed the behaviors yet anyway. But I'm kind of thinking about some of the animals are... Like, I like the way that bears are not aggro in Atlas, even though that's completely wrong. I like the fact that they did change it up a little bit. I think it should be like, not changed up from reality, just changed up from the way games treat things. Like, wolves should be the ones that aren't completely aggro. Wolves are defensive, you know? They don't come running after you from 100 yards away. Fucking Atlas, man. Games. I did really enjoy the shit out of it for 2 weeks, I'm just saying. Holy shit, what a game. I think I'm done with this guy here. You can change the walk speed, turn rate as well. It's a good thing to change. So red-eye perch. Is there like another word for this fish? There's like, the other one's like gold. Maybe I can name this one something else. Perch and red-eye perch. I'm gonna do some time for some real-world research here, folks. Freshwater. Oh, that's interesting. Rock bass. Oh, I can just call it a rock bass. The goggle-eyed, red-eyed freshwater fish. Well, that's important to note. Gotta remember that. I'm only sticking them all here in the ocean to test optimization and stuff. I'm gonna delete all these spawners when I'm done and place things more thematically appropriate. So, obviously something good to keep in mind. But for the time being, what I've learned here is that this guy can be called the rock bass. Here's something to copy from. Oh, oops. Damn it. I did the wrong one. Hmm. So now some of these games with different sizes, I'm gonna want them to swim differently, or maybe have different. I don't think I can change the rate at which they swim up and down because it's based on a timeline. I can change the frequency with which they go up and down because that's a variable on the delay. I love the shadow of my own character. I did all the swimming animations myself. I think that's like my best work so far, is that it just looks correct. Come correct. It's a little bit glitchy when I switch between mouse modes. Anyway, like this dude's broke. What's up with him? There's a couple of them. There's another broke one. Because right now everything's programmed to just roam. Nothing's programmed to go idle. It's so hard to like select the dude you want. I want to look at this one. How about no, whatever. Still at 70, 80 FPS. The occasional hiccup when it has to draw a new nav mesh. But I got like literally dozens of fish. Scary. Oh, I still haven't tested that buoyancy component. And that's that EP. Good stuff. I wonder what his latest is like. Let's check that out. I haven't listened to this one or the last couple, but they don't. None of them have had the production of the first one. Laser disc. It's like vaporwave, I think. Nova Nouveau. Yeah, like totally different. This is nice, actually. Oh shit, I haven't heard this one at all. That sounds good, though. Last time I did like guitar music before this, it wasn't as good sounding as that. It's pretty tight. I'm gonna have to listen to this one, see how it is. Okay. Also a fan of the Mars Volta, if you didn't notice. You have noticed. Yes, the weirdness is all. Oh, the skin glowing. This is all. Why do people do that? Like, can't you just? Oh my god. Like, let's just put the things in the most completely randomest places possible. Like, at least in my case, it's not, it doesn't appear organized, but it is. Maybe this is organized, I don't know. I'm not gonna go there. What else we got here? Oh shit, is that all of them? That is all of them. I'm done making animal animation blueprints. I can tweak and finesse and make variations in the way they move and behave in different AI modes now. Different animal behaviors. Different things they can do. But obviously I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to hop in the ocean and swim with the fishes. Maybe do some post-process effects for the different zones. You know what? It looks like the ocean doesn't quite reach the mountains in the distance out there. At least the fog covers it up eventually. Once it loads in. Does this work? Nope. Am I getting a warning about it? Nope. It's like the Windows 95 screensaver. The aquarium. That's it. I'm just gonna sell this as an aquarium simulator. Yo, I should totally do that. That's so stupid. Aquarium simulator for your phone. Remember having screensavers in the 90s? Bring back the joy with the new Aquarium Simulator by Armando Luis Alvarez. Nah. Subnautica in a nutshell. Hey, Subnautica's pretty good. The octopi appear stuck. have bridge-looking male adventurer of, with black-colored hair and ordinary eyes. He appears to be more or less unharmed. Nobody on the ground. This ground is too steep to walk out of, and it's too dark for me to tell. Ugh. The save game stuff, I keep quitting without saving correctly. Well, I'm not really caring about it right now, so... I have to... One of my to-dos is to make it so that you can quit without saving as the server. Like, if there's a crash, and everything be, like, hunky-dory. Hunky-dory, that's how it's said, Trump. I forget what he said, but he butchered that phrase. There's an assault against the hunky-dorists. The hunkadorists. Anyway, I can be up here. I should still be in the spawner. You can see there's no fish up here on the land. No fishies in the air. All the fishies are in the ocean. Whee! Yeah. And they're free to go anywhere in the ocean, as long as it's in the ocean. I think it's that limit of like 500 units below or something like that. So they won't go up to the waves. Stay away from the... Oh, I have to test the... Kill this salmon. That goes up. For some reason they die before you kill them. It's kind of weird. Something I have to look into, but I want to see, is the procedural... Not procedural, the buoyancy component going to work on it? Doesn't look like it. Well, then again, it's not really doing that much to me, too. It is, though. Hard to tell. Because I'm in the buoyancy component. It should be moving up and down with me. Since I'm moving, it's hard to tell if it's moving. It looks like it's staying still, but I can't tell. I should be able to tell. The buoyancy is what gives the character the bobbing up and down with the waves. If I go over to here where there's a steeper wave. I'm not so sure I even like the buoyancy component, because it's not even lining up with the freaking wave correctly. It's accuracy. Never has. Because I don't want the waves to be so high def, because it's a real cost. I have no idea how. I might have to get that free ocean project someone made. Replace my ocean surface with that. Oh, that's Subnautica. Have you checked out the free ocean project that's based on, like, you know, Atlas and Sea of Thieves and all that stuff? I was thinking of getting that and just plugging it in instead of my ocean. Oh wait, did I not? I probably didn't attach it. It's dying like on the first hit. One didn't give me all the errors anymore. Okay. Oh, because once this accesses this, it's gonna check this again off of this. I don't know if it needs to be replicated. We will do. Gonna subtract this again from current health. So maybe, I mean, I don't even think. Wait, I don't need that. Just get current health again. So if I subtract it again, it's subtracting it again. That's been in the game for a while. I haven't really thought about how to fix it, but it should be fixed. Let's see, let's kill a Sharky. Everything has low hit points. By the way, I just gave it like 25 hit points so I can just test. Why are they going underground like that? That's really annoying. I think their maximum bottom end is too low. They sink when you kill them, so let me just try. Alright, it seems to be better. Yeah, he's still flying around even though he's at low health. There you go. Yeah, cool. Fixed that. And let's fix their low end on the swimming thing. Alright, one thing at a time, one thing at a time. Okay, now what was the other thing? The hell? Can't do anything. Alright, well. I would like this. That's kind of... It looks stupid already, as it is. I think I should just take that out completely. You can't swim on the waves, though. I mean, you can't anyway. Especially with lag. Once you got lag, it's like completely gone. I will consider this more. Yeah, I'll just keep that off for now. No floating corpses. I'll just float near the surface for now. This is performance, you know? The buoyancy component is one of the most expensive things in the game already. Costly, performance-wise. I actually took the boats out. I had a bunch of boats over here. Oh, I didn't even take them out. Watch performance get so much better just from taking these guys out. Can always throw them back in. It actually did get a little bit better. I'm getting 100 FPS up here right now. Yeah, this was like 55 before. I'm dipping in the 30s every now and then. I wonder why. I think things are still happening in the background. At some point it settles out and it stops dipping. I'll get 40. Whatever. I guess when I'm panning over here. Oh. Yeah, probably just panning over the continents, revealing them suddenly. So those buoyancy components of the boats, very costly. And they only have like old school style, like one boat that goes back and forth between the two continents or something like that, like an in-character thing. There's a certain degree to which like player-created stuff just takes the fun out of it. A certain degree to which being limited by what's available from the NPCs is actually more rewarding in-character experience, like a game, an RPG, not a sandbox. You can kind of see the jaggedness of the landscape. I've adjusted the LEDs a bit to make them perform better at distance, but it looks kind of, I don't know. I might not need it to be that bad. I'm gonna change that, actually. This looks so bad. It was on the Subnautica was on the Epic Store. That's what you're talking about. Now it's the Death of Edith Finch or whatever. Same performance, better looking mountains in the distance. Really didn't make that big of a difference. Just looks better. Except for this one, it just looks ugly in general. I think I need to remake that. Or smooth it out a bit or something. Also, it seemed to not dip into 40 anymore as I pan around. Something to do with, maybe that LOD setting was actually causing it to change LOD as a frustum turns, because like the corners are a different length. Like measuring from here to here is longer than here to here if the camera frustum is a single plane back there. So this length is longer, so this LOD would be getting turned into a higher LOD as you turn towards it. So it could have been that LOD getting rendered was actually causing more of a performance hit rather than just letting it be a higher model. That's kind of interesting. Kind of staying around 50 at the lowest, staying in 60s mostly. Turning really fast, it's the same deal. So also notice the shadow. As the camera gets closer, it gets more detailed. So player shadows in the distance will be blobs, but anyone close to you will be super high detailed like that. I might expand the distance to which it's clear. So you can at least zoom all the way out and still see yourself a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe this is good. Yeah. Check out the snail. I didn't look at the snail yet. It's gonna be hard to see this stupid snail. Oh, and I am not wearing a cup. That is incorrect. Look, his clothes are all messed up. Let's find a snail. See how the movement speed and turn speed is. Turn rate. There's a rat. I found you, rat. Just chilling. This would be easier. Chicken. Squirrel. Chicken. The rat should turn faster. Got enough moonlight right now. The AI is on the ground, but the mesh is in the air. Frog. See, like the front paw slides forward, but the back paw slides backwards. Like the animations are totally messed up. Too much of a pain to fix the details of. But it works. It works for now. I got a lot of animal types. I think it's like 30, 31 animal types when you consider birds, animals, and swimming things. I just can't find the snail. I want to look at the snail. Where are you, snail? Didn't I put... I know I put the snail up here. There it is! A lot slower, I think, still. If I was going to be a real pain in the ass, I'd make it move naturally, like. I'll just slow it way the hell down. Am I actually wearing a cup on my back? That'd be hilarious. There's a snail. He's idling. Why are you idling? That's pretty good speed for a snail. He's idling again. It's pretty good. Snailing around. I guess he's failing to get there because he's too slow. So he's going into idle mode after every attempted movement. Move to location. Idle. Probably just failing to get there because he's so slow, and so he idles. Which is fine. I'll hang out in this area. What was the other one? The rats. Oh, they're trying to do the get uphill thing. Oh yeah, look at these guys. Damn, that wasn't a fix at all. Well, the birds and the fish need to be able to go up and down hills, so it's either birds and the fish get stuck in water or animals get stuck on the land. You can't have two different nav meshes. It's so weird. I gotta look that up. There's gotta be a way to cheat it. Get two different nav meshes going. I wanna see the rat turn. Maybe I should lower the radius of the navigable area it's trying to reach. Trails, idols, and he's back. He's trying to go that way again. There you go. Faster turning. Yeah, faster turning still. Faster still. Okay, Goose has squirrel on the mouse over. That seems a little bit faster. It's funny, the number has to be so high for it to get a good turn speed. Maybe I should give them a higher step. So they can like go up mountains and stuff. Just let the animals go up hills. And players won't be able to get to them. I mean, animals can go places people can't. I don't know, maybe I should just let them be able to go up hills and stuff. But then there'll be animals that are spawned and unable to be reached. Anyway, the squirrel is fine. Let's change fix that goose. And then I'm probably going to be done for a little while. Oh, fucking squirrel. Alright, gonna get some lunch. Thanks for chilling, checking out the game again. A lot of progress, and I'm gonna keep going. More animal variations, animal AI modes, player AI modes. You can fight the animals. I'll have the animals fight back. Players fight back. And why does this have... Oh, because the AI has invokers. So that area is nav meshed. Because the characters are placed in the level already. Anyway. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.